Monday night, it's Facebook Live, and today we have the two coaches that are gonna be in the final, Sylvain Favreau and Jean-Francois Gregoire. Thank you for accepting the interview. I'll start with Sylvain. How does it feel now that you're in the final again?
Well, it's always a great feeling. You work all season long to try and accomplish this goal of competing for a championship. I think we're all in the business of trying to win games, and it's a great feeling to be back.
Jean-Francois, it's going to be a first final in a couple years for the Drakkar. How does it feel being in the final again?
Uh, just like Sylvain said, I can add that it's a privilege to be there. It's tough. It's a long road. A lot of things can happen during the playoff, but it's nice to be part of. Really nice to be part of.
Well, congratulations to both of you and both of your teams. I think it's going to be an amazing final. We'll talk a little bit about the final, but I want to talk to the coaches also, just to know how do you guys deal with that kind of situation, and how do you prepare the players and stuff. Sylvain, I'll be with you before. I just want to know. I want to come back a little bit on the last series. How did you see the semis, and how do you evaluate your team so far?
Yeah, well, like GF alluded to, you get into playoffs, it's a different season altogether, and I would say our last series against Victoriaville was it was a tight series on the ice. I mean, both teams, I think, in their process here in the playoffs, have gone to overtime and have faced adversity during games, and I think for us, it just grew our team stronger in that last series, especially. I know that playing Sherbrooke, we certainly faced a little bit of adversity there. They were a well coached, very structured team. So I think we feel good about ourselves, obviously, but it's a completely different dynamic once you get into the playoffs. Anything can happen, and you can't take anything for granted, and you got to keep your eye on the prize and continue with, for us, it was just trying to find consistency, in the way that we wanted to play game in and game out.
Jean-Francois, it was an emotional series against Cape Breton, short, but a lot of emotion in that series. How did you see that series, and what do you think that make the difference against the Eagles?
No, just like you said, it was emotional, but what I like about our team, we said that we are known to be a physical team, and we face a team physical too, so we match up that part. But what I liked about what we did, I think we kept our composure and we stayed disciplined. So there's a fine line with being physical and undisciplined, and I think we stayed on the right side. And so just like the other series, we find ways. Every series you find adversity. It's not people think that because we won 4 games against Charlottetown, the same against Bathurst, and 5, you find a lot of adversity in games. There's a momentum shifting. So the way that we react, composure-wise, I think we did good on that part.
I think that's going to be an amazing series. I think you guys are going to agree with me. There will be a lot of fun in the stands. I mean, I was in Drummondville for the last game. I was in the Baie-Comeau for the last game. I mean, the fans are crazy in both arenas, and I say this as positive. Maybe Jean-Francois, talk about how is it in the stands. I mean, it has been absolutely nuts in the stands, and it's absolutely fun to be there.
It's fun. It's great to be part of that type of energy in the stands, and people are cheering, pulling. I think it's good for both teams, and I'm pretty sure that all players involved and even coaches likes that. It's not about the fun to be part of a junior playoff game with the smaller rink and all that, all the stuff around. And no, it's just great. And again, it's a privilege to be part of, and it's louder than we can think. It's great. It's great.
It is loud, but it was loud in Drummondville too. I was actually surprised by how loud it was on the last game, especially. Sylvain, did you feel it from the bench? Is it something you're aware of? Because I know you guys are dialed in, but do you feel like how crazy it is in the stands?
Yeah, I think that you can be as dialed in as you want. When you hear the roar of the crowd, it's certainly it's a pretty cool feeling. And for me, I think it's fantastic. I think Baie-Comeau has outstanding fan support. I think in Drummondville here, it's the exact same thing. We saw some folks sleeping at the door last night in order to get tickets. I think both buildings are going to be allowed. I think it's a different dynamic than what I lived last year with the Centre Vidéotron and Scotiabank Centre in Halifax, which was just a different dynamic. Now it's two smaller rinks with fans that are really, really engaged. For me, I think the winners in this is, the league and the support that the fans are giving both teams. I think it's outstanding.
Sylvain, talking about the last year final, I don't want to make it personal about you, but in some way it is because you have a second shot at the cup. How does it feel being back there so quickly and having another chance?
Oh, I'm not going to lie by telling you it's a good feeling to be back. Last year is last year. It's completely different dynamics. I was with a different team. I'm proud of our team. I'm extremely proud of our players. I'm sure GF would say the exact same thing. You're proud of the players and the efforts that they've put in all year and sacrifices, and it's a long season. And then, anything can happen in the playoffs, and to have two really great hockey clubs facing each other for a championship is I think it's outstanding for the league.
There's three players that I wouldn't say killed you last year, but that had the best of your team with Huchette and Komarov and Kassim Godin. Maybe especially Kassim was so good in the final last year, but now they're on your side. I mean, does it make a difference to have like three Memorial Cups winners in your team?
I don't recall what you're talking about. Sorry.
you forgot that.
No, it's
as soon as possible.
I'm joking aside. I think there are players that we knew when we wanted to bring them in that they would bring not only experience but a ton of character, along with being great hockey players. So it's obviously it's a lot of fun having them on your side instead of coaching against them. But there's some really good hockey players on both sides on these two hockey clubs. So it's going to be an interesting and dynamic series.
Jean-Francois, I was talking about personal stuff of Sylvain. I said at the beginning of the interview the last time the Dracard was in final, your son was actually part of the team. I don't know. Is it special for you to go back as a father? How did you live the final as a father, and how do you think you're going to live it as a coach?
I think I was more stressed as a father than as a coach. Yeah. During the game, you think you get involved in and you do your duties, your job, and what you have to do. And no, as a father, I was obviously pushing and not louder, not screaming with people here, but I was involved on the other side. It was fun, honestly. It was a great experience. It was my first time when Jérémy went in the final like the year before against Halifax. So I was able to witness that final. So no, it was again, it was great to see all the emotion, the excitement, people cheering for the players. And I was able to see, and what it's fun about junior hockey, you're gonna see some future maybe in HLers. So I was able to see Foucault Nets, Drouin, and McKenna in that playoff series. So no, it was great to be part of. Obviously against Val d'Or, it was a tough one to watch. Like tying the game, it was they were trailing 0-3, and they tied up the game, and actually Jeremy scored the third goal, the tying goal, and after that we all talk about with that window that puck came back right in the slot. But no, it's a different, but it was fun to be witness that series 10 years ago.
Did you guys talk about the upcoming final? I mean, did you have some advice from your son? I mean, as weird as it sounds, I don't know. Did you chat or talk about it?
No, not that much. Sorry, no, not that much. We talk about the experience, more about inside the dressing room and all the way that the chemistry between players and stuff like that. I knew how it felt when he played that series, so it was more about teammates and chemistry more than how he felt by playing the game.
Now it's going to be question maybe Sylvain more about for hockey geeks, but how do you guys deal when you get in the final? How does it work? Like, do you practice harder? Is it a little bit softer? Because I mean, I guess the power play won't change that much because you're working on it all year. What's the logic behind or before the matches? How do you manage the guys? That's a question.
I think for me, there's a lot to be said about consistency and how you approach games, and you can't, because it's the playoffs or because it's the semifinals or the finals, you can't completely change the dynamic of how you prepare for your team. I think it needs to be consistent, and that's why we play the 68 games and we prepare a certain way, and we have demands of our players to not only execute but perform on demand when it's on the line. So do we manage work to rest and travel and all that stuff? Absolutely. But for me, it lies with a consistency as well in preparation, and a consistency in efforts leading up to the games.
Jean-Francois, is it the same thing for you? Is it?
Yeah, it's a lot of it's the same. And for us, we had to manage the traveling because we played the first three series against the Maritimes team. So yes, we had to travel by plane, but you're at the hotel, and so it's a different thing that when you play a team and you're coming back after a games or so. No, the rest, it's the schedule, and the rest is really huge right now.
Yeah, I understand. I have a good idea of what you're going to answer to me, but Jean-Francois, do you already start to scout the team of the other leagues? Like, do you have people that already looks at the O and the W in case of you guys going further in the Memorial Cup, maybe? Or is it when we're gonna win, we're gonna start our homework? So do you start in advance?
My answer in French is always, I will stay in the present. You know that you witnessed that last week. So no, I'm in the present, and I'm focusing on the final. And after that, we have all the technology after that to do what we have to do after. It's on my side. I'm staying in the present.
Is it the same for you, Sylvain? Like, when it's gonna be done, we're gonna start our homeworks, or do you have like people that watch the games in advance?
No, absolutely not. I think we're completely in the moment, and it's about the task at hand right now. And like GF said, we have so many tools now and technology to help us after the fact. So we'll concentrate on the right now, and we'll figure things out as they go.
Well, guys, thank you so much. I won't take much of your time in English. We'll switch in French. If you're listening in English, we're going to go to the French page. Give us a good series. There's so much of firepower, good defense on both sides. I think it's going to be really fun in the stands, and I think it's going to be a special fireworks that we're going to have. And I would guess it's going to be a pretty long series. So thank you so much, guys, and see you on the French page.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you.